We're here in Stockholm at the start of World Water Week. This morning, ITT announced the start of a signature philanthropy project called ITT Watermark. This is a 3-year, $3 million initiative to bring fresh water and sanitation to 300 schools on 2 continents. Tell us about Watermark. Why now?
We're very, very excited about ITT Watermark. As Keith said, it's a 3-year, $3 million initiative to work with schools in developing markets to bring water, safe water, sanitation, and hygiene education to these schools. And the program has a number of prongs. We are partnering with Water for People. We have had a long history with Water for People, and we did a lot of research in picking a partner, and there's a number of reasons we picked them. But probably the most important reason is that they are expert at bringing sustainable solutions to communities, and that is what we seek to do.
John, you like to talk about business statesmanship. Based on your experience, where does this program fit in?
I think that there have been a series of shifts in the agenda for business, and business statesmanship, which is a term that the Global Compact has recently used in the water space, I think is very much representative of the latest agenda. But if you go back 30, 40 years, you'll see in the early, late 60s, the first wave of pressure on business, including companies like ITT and others in this room, which was very much driven into the sort of policy space. It was a regulatory agenda, and business basically was on the defensive. It was in compliance mode. The second agenda really came up in the late 80s, and initially was treated as a sort of competitive thing, so companies were competing to show that they were greenest of the lot, but that didn't last very long, and we almost defaulted back to sort of corporate citizenship approach to all of this. Third wave kicked off in the streets of Seattle in 1999 with the protests against the World Trade Organization. This was very much driven by the anti-globalization movement. And I think what we saw during that period was a shift towards global corporate citizenship. So in some ways you could see what ITT are doing with the Watermark initiative as playing into that third wave. But I think there's a fourth wave building now very, very powerfully around the world. And I actually think potentially at least Watermark plays into that as well. And if you ask me what that fourth wave is about, instinctively more than based on hard evidence as yet, I think it's about scalable, entrepreneurial and innovative solutions to the big problems that we face, social and environmental primarily.
You know, it's one thing to run a business well and do the right thing and please your customers, but it's another thing to be able to give back and be part of helping solve an issue. So us, ITT, working together with other industry partners, with our associations in industry, with universities, with government entities, and helping make sure that people become aware of the issue that's in front of us, helping work through regulatory requirements, engaging, pulling others involved, and really directing and making sure that, you know, we're leading the path to a solution together. It's a big issue that we face, and you can tackle it through a lot of different means, but I do think we need a holistic approach, and we need to take those parties that are engaging and work together in a more collective fashion if we really want to have an impact.
In virtually all developing countries, finding, carrying, and managing water is women's work. Typically, women and children can spend up to 2/3 of their waking hours hauling water. The filled containers often weigh as much as 45 pounds. The effort can consume 25% of a woman's daily caloric intake. Finding and hauling water excludes them from education, income generation, and cultural and political activities. Without water, toilets, and privacy, girls often drop out of school when they reach puberty. It's part of the reason why every 2 out of 3 illiterate people are women, and why women make up 70% of the world's poor.